we'll look at something today. So, what I'd like to look at real quick, Brian, if I can borrow you, I need somebody to throw around today. So from the 50-50 here, what I've seen is a lot of people are still worried, I guess, about grips, and they just get stuck here. They're not doing anything. So instead, what we need to worry about is starting to shift our partner, right? Hand position means everything. So if we're here, hands are relatively at the same position. This is a pretty neutral gait. No one's really winning or losing here. To immediately take advantage of my partner, I want to put tension on my pistol grip, and I want to bring tension onto the collar. And it might be super dramatic. It might look like this, and then I know I'm winning. It might also just be here. So my collar grip is now higher than his hand, right? So if you guys can see this, like where his hand is and where my hand is, here, if we get into this 50-50 and we're just kind of bulldogging each other, I can affect a little change with just bringing my grip up and putting pressure down on his hand, right? So this little piece is all I need to assert a little bit of change in my partner's posture, which gives me the opportunity to attack. So if we're in this right versus right stance here, I have a good pistol grip, I've got a good collar grip, we've fought to our grips. As I'm going to sit here, I'm going to put pressure down and I'm going to pull up on the collar. This little bit of change in his shoulder is all I need so that I can come here, step by, and step through for that Osoto Gari, that backwards reaping throw that we've done before, right? So it's important that when we get our grips, we're not just hanging on for hanging on's sake, but we're actually starting to manipulate our partner's upper body, right? A real classic that I like to use is the archer position, where I've got tension in both directions. So I've pulled here and I'm pushing here. And the more I can turn his upper body, the better chance I have of throwing to that back corner, right? So as I pull to the top of the triangle here, I step, pull, my hands are going to start shifting. Now that my hands have shifted in this direction, whatever his reaction is going to tell me where the throw is. So if he starts to fight back against it, bang, we pull, go into Sasai. If he doesn't, if I pull here, hands shift, and then he just goes stiff, we go backwards for Osoto, right? So I can feed off of the upper body based on how he reacts to my grips. But I have to put tension on the grips all the time. So these have to be active handles, okay? So the first drill, the first thing we'll start with this morning, we'll pair up, we'll get to our grips, we'll pull to the top of the triangle, and then I just want you guys to start applying tension to those the hands before we start doing dealer's choice. So we'll come in, we'll get our grip like usual, step to the top of the triangle, be adamant about applying pressure, and then go for an attack. Okay? Do that 5 times each. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so question from the audience, as they say. So if we're getting a right versus left or a left versus right, so we're in a mirrored stance, so go ahead and switch your feet for me. Right, so we get this battle here with this grip. So he's inside, I'm outside. We've looked at stuff that we can do from the outside, right? We grab here, reach over the back, and we're stepping behind. We can come in and do sumigaishi. There's all kinds of things. If we want to do a turn throw and we're underneath, right, this is going to be difficult because I'm trying to get across his hips and his power frame is right in front. Right, so let's just say I want to step across for Tayo. So from here, as I go to step, all he has to do is just push the frame away. And I'm off balance and I have no power. Look, extended my arm, my shoulder's in a bad spot. That throw's rarely going to work. But if I can remove this frame, then I can clear the path to get across the hips. So for me, how I like to do this is I like to go aim for the wrist, where like the wrist flexes and bends. As I push this, I'm going to shrug my shoulder up and down. So my shoulder comes up, I make contact, I press, and I push it over. He can stay. So if here, now the gi's off my shoulder, there's nothing between me and him, the frame is clear, now I have to go. So as I do this, I'm just going to take an inside trip, Ouchigari to change the direction of his triangle. Collect the sleeve, back spin, now all my turn throws are available. Right? The only one that would be difficult from this setup would be Uchimata because it's so far around, but you could get there. So again, we're in this configuration and we're sitting, everyone's framed up, we're hand fighting. I want to push this out and bring my shoulder under so that the gi comes off my shoulder. In an ideal world, my gi would come all the way off my shoulder, right? Because now his frame is useless, he has no grips, there's no control over my upper body. In actuality, what would happen is probably I'll get this. I might get a little bit of a strip grip, which is fine, off the side. And then I have to immediately attack something so that I can get to the sleeve. If I wait and try to go for the sleeve here, he's just going to return the grip first, and now we're back in the same position. So ideally, I have to press, get rid of this, come in and change. Once I get the movement, now the sleeve becomes real free, and then we can go all the way in, right? So let's work with our partner on that. Let's get in that 50-50. If you want the partner who has the under grip, push on the wrist and try to strip the grip over the shoulder. If you do it, like go ahead, Ryan, try and do it. If you push and exactly, if you bring your shoulder up with the grip, you're just pushing the hand into your shoulder. It's sort of like this unique timing where you've got to come up and down. And then, yeah, you got to time that. So you got to learn to get this motion. Don't do that at home. And then once you get this, now you have to attack the near leg. So back foot to front foot around the back to change the angle of the triangle. So then you have a free to attack your hips across. Does that make sense?
So which way are you attacking after you?
So once I'm inside, right, I'm going to press the hand away and I'm going to come here. Now my back foot's just going to touch my front foot, just like we do for Ouchigari and Kochigari, just like dealer's choice. Now I'm going to sweep inside and just press away so that I can change the direction of the triangle, right? Because now we're no longer in a right versus right. We're no longer in the right versus left. We're now in a right versus right. This is standard format for us. Now, because I pushed that away, I have an opportunity to collect the sleeve. Now I'm top of the triangle with two grips, and I can just back step and turn into any turn throw I want, right? Whether it's Ushimata or Harai Goshi that we went over a couple weeks ago, or drop Seoi, they all work from there, okay? Good? All right, let's give it a shot. Ready, 1, 2, 3. In a circle form. So if we're in this I guess lapel grip, I've got to come up with a cool name for it for the video, I guess. When we're here, right, this grip of being able to press and then like peel, it'll work for right now, but if we're moving around, right, and we're just kind of like going back and forth, I can also find a time in a circle to also push it off. And this goes back to one of the basic principles that I talk about from our normal stance. So when we're in our right versus right and we're coming here and we're collecting the sleeve, right? Typically, once I get the sleeve grip, I don't like to circle to my power hand, right? I don't want to do this and open up his ability to get grips. I tend to circle towards the sleeve side. So when I'm here, this hand's still in a defensive posture, so if he's reaching for my lapel, right, I can still parry it away, but I'm also trying to get the angle on this side so that he presents the collar so I can get a grip. Now I can get my secondary grip. If we're in this position to start with, and so he's got the over and I've got the under, and we're fighting here, I still don't want to go this way because I'm not gaining any ground towards completing a turn throw, and I'm playing into his frame. So as long as I'm turning this way, he's just able to frame me away and keep me at distance. So if I can't go this way, then the opposite side would be to go to that way. So I can go back to my sleeve side, and as I pull, just like if I'm pulling to the top of the triangle, I pull, and I can pop that grip, and I can come inside. Now we've pretty much aligned ourselves to the triangle. I'm in the top here, back foot to front foot to the inside, change the direction, I can get the sleeve, right? And we talked about going right to a turn throw because in judo, that's a really good way to score a major point and get out of the match, right? One big throw, bang, ippon, over. In jiu-jitsu, if I'm trying to get just control to the ground, as I'm here, I'll punch this. If I can get to this point, if I can get to here, I'll just step through. If I can get enough change, I can just ride this out so he's light on his foot, and then I can sweep the foot, right? So don't limit yourself to just one direction on the throw after you change the grip, right? So if I'm here, we're inside, I pop this, come here, easy, because I got him moving in one direction and then he comes back the other, right? So if we can go this way and pull back the other direction. Likewise, if we get to the inside, we did this a couple weeks ago, where we come here, we pull inside, we can go right to the back. We can wrap this up. Now, get good head position, fight for the sleeve, step to the top of the triangle, hips over, ogoshi, right? Or if we're in here, press and pull, right to the sticky foot to both legs. Right? So there's a lot of things that you can do off of this, I guess we'll call it a grip break, but really just this reorganizing of the frames. So once I get past this frame, now it's sort of like we talked about when we're on the same side, it's a race to the inside of the collar. Now we've gotten to our group here, we've gotten to our destination. So even this, I can come here, swing a one-handed mat return for Uchimata, get my elbow up, pull, doesn't work, swing, pick. Right? Illegal in judo, but legal in jiu-jitsu. So actually we'll drill that one just because I like the way it looks. So we'll go here, press this again to get to the inside, right? Really focus on rolling the gi off the shoulder. Get this up as your shoulder comes under and you bring your shoulder inside, right? Because ideally I want this like off my shoulder. Then we're just going to take a back step from here. We're not going to do a primary attack. We're just going to back step from here. My elbow is going to go up for my Uchimata mat return. I break his posture as I swing the leg through. If I miss or he's got really good balance, all I have to do is adjust my leg to the other side of his foot. And I could just drive him over, but to make sure that it works and that I come up with some sort of control, I'm just going to reach over, grab the knee, press, and then lift the foot up so we can't get away, right? Then we step in. Okay, we'll go one more. So again, same-sided or mirrored stance partner here. I press, I come inside, back step, swing, step, pick. Okay? Good? Yeah.
So is this more of a setup, or are you actually trying to hit, like, would you actually be trying to hit that? Is this like off a failed attempt, or is it kind of, you're just doing that, you're just going, setting it up, and then swinging back?
I think it would be you could definitely just do it as a setup. You could come here and just try to get the leg up to step behind. But the way that I always look at it is if I'm going to make a combo out of two throws, the first throw has to work. Right? If there's no danger from the first throw, I'm not going to get the right reaction. So if I'm at risk of shortchanging it because my eye is really on getting that ankle, then as soon as I step, he just backs out, and now I've missed my opportunity. Whereas if I come in with an Uchimata here,
It's already super light.
right, now it's much more likely to succeed. Good question though. All right, anyone else? All right, let's give it a shot. Ready, 1, 2, 3. So you brought up a good point though, and so I want to go over the alternative version where we're on top and they're on bottom and we're still fighting for the same kind of lapel game. So what it looks like is it's the same grip situation, but now instead of me being under and fighting for the inside space, now we're going to start with the over, and I still want to get to the inside, right? So I could reach under, pull, and then feed it to my hand. I could do that. But also here we talked about this where I can lower the hand. So now we're kind of combining a couple of things, right? We've talked about the shrug before. So if his hand's up here, I can easily shrug my gi and lower his hand. So instantly the tension is removed. It's not nearly as strong of a frame now. Now I grab the cuff grip and in the direction of his thumb. So he's pointing at me with his thumb, so I'm going to point back at him. Here, I'm just going to put tension in both directions till I feel it. Once there's tension, punch to the inside, and then I throw it by and I get my elbow. Now we're back in that same power spot. Right here, I can lift up, come for the back, do all those moves we just talked about. Right, so this is just a real quick grip break that I want you guys to drill just a couple times each just to get the hang of this. So as we're here, if your partner, like, I'll shift my gi back up. If he's like, up on the neck here, yeah, and he's really, really got this framed out, this is a hard grip to break, right? Even if I can get here, there's no pressure. I can't really get any tension on it. So at first, I just shift my gi down, lower the hand, grab, punch in the direction of his thumb here. Once it's off, I pull it into me, right? Once you get here, don't just let go, because if you let go, typically what will happen is he'll just regrip or he'll just come over the top and sink this. And I don't want him to get a strong grip. So I'm here, tension, break, and then I bring it right back into that same forearm position that we just had. Right, so now I'm here, and then we're back into this thing where we're hand fighting, maybe sidestepping here. Oh, one-handed tie, that would look good on TV. Okay? So just real quick, yeah?
When you go for the grip break, does it have to be the four fingers? Just because I feel like it might be hard to like try to grab as you're, or could it, you know what I mean? Like when we do
I mean,
grip break.
you could easily, yeah, you could easily come through. It kind of depends on what's available from the gi, but you could easily just go to a pistol grip, right? Just on the inside here to do this, and then you could pull and punch away. I just like, in this instance, the cuff grip allows me to really just like punch that hand through, because I can interlock my wrist to my forearm here to get one big like battering ram, just bang, and punch this through. Whereas if I have a pistol grip, not terrible, but my wrist is compromised because it's on like a gimbal. So it's like I have to put pressure in and then do it. It works, especially if I want to take it from here and then pull into that Russian tie. The pistol grip's a great lead into that Russian tie dilemma. So if that's what you're going to go for, that's no problem. Good question. So if I'm here and I just want to aggressively get rid of this, maybe we've been fighting for a while, and so I know he's got tough grips. So I don't want to chance anything. I'm just going to go all out and just punch and then come in. Right now I'm just set up. But yeah, if we're here and I want to take this, maybe I can gather it up, cut, and then I can pull into that 2-on-1. Right now we're in this position and we've got a whole series we can do from there. So if you want to work both of those, there's no problem there. But good question. Anything else? All right, let's go 5 times each. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. So now we'll look at a forward throw from this position, right? So we'll do what we just went over, right? So, and now it doesn't matter if we're inside or outside, right? So if we're inside, then we know that we need to punch this over and peel the gi. And if it's over, we're going to build tension, punch it, and then take the inside space. So what we can do from here, because a lot of times the ankle pick, you got to be pretty athletic, or you got to catch the guy at the right moment. A lot of times this is all timing, right? Here to here, and that can be very difficult to really hit that in real time. So something that's a little more conservative, that might be a little higher percentage for the win. You come through here, punch, and then we're going to staple this in again. So like, notice the hand tension. We kind of talked about this from the beginning all the way through the day. This hand tension to keep the collar tight. Once I get this and I backstep, right, as soon as that leg moves, whether it comes off the ground or not, I know that it's light, which means that that leg is heavy. If that leg is heavy, then that becomes my new target. All I want to do is step across here, knee underneath his knee, and I drive the head over. And then I just keep driving with the collar as I push him across the knee. Right? So for jiu-jitsu's sake, if it doesn't get him to spin all the way over, if there's no score on the back, you're still going to get those 2 points for the takedown as long as you maintain control past the hip line for 3 seconds. That's a lot. But so we're here, tension, punch, step, lift, stab, and then we're in. Right? And as soon as you feel him start to go over in a live match, just start to sink your hips. So really just come down with him. So then you can claim the side control position. So this is just as fast as you guys need to go at first, right? Really develop the sense of the footwork. So get that good tension on the grip here. We're going to punch inside to break the grip. We're going to throw it by and claim the inside space as I ratchet up my pistol or my collar grip here. My weight's already on my front foot. I'm going to back step here. I'm going to transition to my Uchimata. As soon as I touch and that leg moves a little, that's my signal to dart across. When I dart, my knee bends, my leg comes over, my ankle goes up, I drive his head over, and I just bring him over my leg, keeping the collar grip. Okay? Questions on that? Good? All right, let's give it a shot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The Tai Otoshi mechanics. When we get into the position here, when I want to drop this leg, I just want to bend this knee and then shoot my leg across, right? I'm not trying to like lean over, and I'm not trying to like take this step here. I want everything on this leg to stay the same so that this leg is free to move, whether it's the back sweeping motion or whether it's the Tai-O, right? Everything is the same on this leg. All my weight's on this left leg as I push this to the ground. The lower you get, the easier that throw is going to be, right? Because then it becomes like a trip. And so I don't have to leverage. I don't have to get my hips involved in lift. I don't have to change my hand direction. Everything just goes in one direction, and then my leg just gets right in front where he just trips over my ankle, basically. Okay, keep that in mind. whenever we do Tayo, because we've done it from a couple different angles at this point. So now we'll go, maybe it's something a little bit less high percentage, because I think Tayo is a super high percentage throw, but we'll go a little less high percentage, but it'll give us more options on the back end. So again, doesn't matter now the orientation, we've got ways to beat this grip. So if we're here, punch, if we're here, push and strip. Once we're here, what I like to do is I like to frame on the shoulder to get him to move. So in this configuration, when our feet are close and my frame is on the inside, meaning I have more control over the distance, because even if he grips here now, right, I can keep the distance at bay, right? And then if I want to close in, I can close in, I can push out. Now all I'm worried about is fighting this elbow. So anytime he tries to come over, he's going to try to break in with the elbow. So you just bring your elbow over. Yep. And I'm just punching away again, right? So wherever the incursion occurs, that's the source. I'll just push it back. If the hand comes over, push it away, right? Real simple stuff, but it's just you got to defend the ground that you've taken, basically. So we're here. He's got a grip on the outside now because I've got inside control. All I want to do is attack this leg. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to push. This motion shifts his weight from the front leg to the back leg. As I shift, I skip step in, and I sweep the bottom leg, and I pull the hand down, right? So here, I can control this, punch, step, pull. Easy, right? Simple. Okay, we'll go one more time. So again, this is all off the tension, right? So the tension's key, because as I bring this, I build this, I punch this away. Now I pull him into me. Now I push him away from me. This shift from pushing or from pulling to pushing is what changes the weight on his legs. The going from the front leg to the back leg is my time to sweep. Here, I close the distance as his weight shifts, which gives me an opportunity to make that leg light. And then it's just a simple hand technique where I'm just pulling the collar to the ground, right? So I'm not going to throw, but look, as I shift here, I bring the foot up. This gap that I just created, right? He had a post. I took the post away. That's where I want to pull his weight so that he falls right where he should have a balance point. But now the balance point's gone because I took it. Simple. Very, very easy concept. A lot of people will forget about this, right? Because you come in here, we're doing all this hand fighting stuff. Okay, boom. Here, bang. Oh, wait, what? Because we got all distracted by doing this that you forgot about your feet. Bang. Right? And so the foot sweep, when we do it, we don't want to kick our partner, right? And we're not soccer kicking his toes. That'd be rude. We want to turn our foot over so the flat part hits our partner's flat part of their foot. If anything, you want your arch to go around their ankle bone, almost like it was designed to marry up, right? And if you hear that thud, you should probably apologize to your partner because you probably did it wrong and it hurt. If you get a slap sound, hey, that's probably good, right? That probably sounds like judo, okay? So work with your partner to start with. Just have your partner stand there and then take some schwacks at each other to really find that position, right? So come in and just line it up, kind of like you're measuring up your golf swing, right? You want to make sure you're at the right spot. I don't play golf, don't judge me. But we're here, find it, and it's okay to look down. A lot of people get this thing like, oh, I shouldn't look at the feet. Look at the foot. So we're here, find it, cool, and then you trade so that if you messed up, your partner gets some revenge on your foot, and then we'll move into the technique, okay? So 5 quick of those, and then we'll go into the technique. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So as you guys get more comfortable with the footwork and the timing, add the hand. So all you're doing now with just the one hand, right? We're still not even fighting for a sleeve grip. We just want to bring our feet together, stab in, and then pull the hand down, right? And that's it. It'll happen all together. So when you do it full speed, it'll be simultaneously, right? Like as if my hand and feet are connected. So as my sweep is coming, my foot's moving, right? It's like this motion, right? It's just like when we do our break falls. I come out here, I swing together, I fall together, right? That's all, in some regard, all this is doing is training you for this technique, right? I'm here, sweeping, and then, oh no, right? That's what we're doing here. So same situation, we're training this. Now, as I come in, my foot and hand work together, they sweep, and then he falls down together, right? So, all right, we'll look at one more thing. I got a bunch of stuff off of this. I totally forgot about this part of my game too. I really like this. I'm gonna bring this back now. So one thing you can do here, because a lot of times you punch this away and you start building up this tension here. As soon as you go for it, a lot of times the player will just step out because they'll see it coming, right? It's not an uncommon thing that someone's gonna like sweep this move. So, but when he does that, now we've changed the direction of the triangle again, right? And we have this inside leverage, which is really nice. So theoretically, I could just swing for the back and then just bring him all the way over my hips. Again, more for jiu-jitsu than for judo. And nogi too, right? Because if we're here in this collar tie and we get to this position, I can sweep here as he steps back to avoid the sweep. I come in for a nice body lock, and now I'm like 2-on-1, and I just run him over the hips, right? Real easy way to close the distance in control. But since we are wearing gis, as I punch and I take the space here, I'm going to immediately try to attack this foot sweep. When he backs out of that foot sweep, I can go into here, or once I'm here, collect the sleeve, and then I'm just ducking right underneath. There's all this space here. I just have to get really low. So once I get low, and you can go to a double knee, you can drop all the way, you can go to a single knee once we're inside. So we'll break, we'll come here, we'll attack to change the angle, collect the sleeve. Once we come in this way, if you want to, skip step in, drop right down to one knee. A lot of players like this, because now I can follow my partner down much easier. And then there's always the classic double knee that we've gone over. So we're here, bang, sweep, step, and we come all the way under. I didn't want to throw that one.
I could feel the power going on.
Yeah, the double knee's really strong from that position specifically, because as I get this tension built up, once I get this motion where he's pushed back onto his heels, he's gonna come forward. Once he comes forward, there's only one direction, and that's into me. My base is so wide and open that all I have to do is just pivot. I don't have to take any extra steps. There's no extra timing involved. It's just here, and I'm underneath. And then I have control of the collar, so I'm just pulling his head to the ground. Right, it's a real tough throw to stop at that point. But anytime we get this position and we attack, now with this triangle, top of the triangle here, all of our techniques are available to us, right? So what I would offer is to take time to play both sides. So here, if he comes over the top, right, and I don't want this, don't forget about our other grip breaks here, and then work from getting to this position to attacking that front foot. Once we attack the front foot, it's kind of dealer's choice, and you can start working through that. The other option, this one's a little fancier and takes a little more maneuverability. Sometimes when you tag the foot, right, they do that, I'll pull them back into the same position. When we get back into the same position, I know I'm going to do it again. He knows I'm going to do it again. This time I'm not doing it. So as I push, the foot sweep's there. I purposefully miss the foot sweep, and I come across both legs, throwing a one-handed Harai Goshi. So our matches are what, 5 minutes, right? So there's going to be opportunities to get into this same situation. Bang, oh, it didn't work. Ah, dang. Sweep. Right, and you just come all the way through. Now you get it.
And you finish it just with one hand,
Yeah, you don't need the other hand. Other hand, what's that for? Why you need it? The other hand is very helpful if I have to build up tension and torque. If the tension and torque is from my hips, I don't need the other hand necessarily. It's still nice to have, but if I don't, and I just need like a late round score, here, I can punch, just step, and then step again. Right, we did that too, okay? So off the foot sweep, there's pretty much a menu of options that you can go for. A lot of times, you can just stagger it when they step back, follow, so you're at the top of the triangle, and now dealer's choice. Right? So when I say dealer's choice, I'm talking Kouchigari, Ouchigari, Osoto, De Ashibarai. So if we get here, and then it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Right? And you can do those in any order you want, but yeah.
Back to the first throw, which was when you dropped to one knee, and is 2 knees easier? Like, is there is it really just that simple as just dropping down?
Two knees is faster. Because because the way that I'm ending up with my base so wide, all I'm doing is just pivoting on this lead foot, and I'm just falling underneath myself. And then, yeah, that torque is all you need. It'll bring them over your shoulder. When you drop to one knee, you're here. If my hand is on this side, so my arms are going to go this way, I don't want to drop to this knee because I can't finish the throw. So here, I skip in, so I'm already positioned on the outside. I'm just going to skip like we normally do, back foot to front foot goes down, and then I bow and pull over. Right, so from just the traditional Seoi-nage that we do. So I'm going to push to get the reaction. He's on his heels. He comes forward. This is the time that I want to strike. So I take my back foot to my front foot. My front foot's going to go in between and to the ground. And now all I have to do is bow and bring him over, right? And you can do it with the sleeve. You can do it with the collar, or you could do it with just the sleeve. So you can come here, right? We're just posted up, push, and then here, right? Elbow high, and pull him down, right? The secret is you want the knee down, but you're controlling the sleeve side.
Deeper the better?
Deeper the better. Since that's the one that drew the most interest, we'll work on just finishing that throw. So we'll start in our, since we've been doing everything from here, we'll start from any grip position we want, break it, control the inside. Attack with the foot sweep so that your partner changes their angle. Once they change the angle, collect the sleeve, and then marry your feet together. Back foot to front foot down and in, arms up, head to the knee. Okay? Simple enough? Questions? Okay, let's go. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Cool, anything else? All right, then that's all I got. Thanks, guys, appreciate it. Thanks, man. Good questions today, too, man, seriously.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks for coming, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you want, it was so fun. Matt, appreciate it.
Yeah, man, of course.
Thank you.
And I break the grip, and I come inside. As soon as I attack the foot, bang, and he steps out, he's gonna engage with that offhand, right? Like no one's just gonna be like, I don't know what's happening. That's my opportunity to collect, right? So now I've got this, I'm gonna give him a push so that I can set my feet. When he pushes back, because no one's gonna let me just keep tilting him over, that's my moment to go. And when you feel the change in the weight, that's when we can open up, and that's when we can throw. And it might like alleviate some of those body mechanics issues. If you're doing it too stagnant, it might become a detriment.